All right, we're gonna have a look at how to do facial animations with Fuse, Mixamo, and then Unity. So first I'm gonna create a character in Fuse. We mostly care about the face for this demo. So let's use, I don't know, zombie, like a fun character. Takes a while. And let's send this to Mixamo. So this works with all Mixamo models. And we're going to use something called blend shapes, spelled like this. Mixamo, getting our character. So while it rigs, it will create something called blend shapes for the face, which is basically different models that it blends between to create different looks of your character. So with the facial blends, every single facial blend will be a different model that it will blend between. Now that it's done, the most important part is that you see that facial blend shapes is enabled. Standard is disabled, I believe, but I've done this before, so it automatically goes to enabled. And click finish. This will take some time, use this character. So now we want to download it, the X for Unity in the T-pose just to get it. This gives us everything for the character with the skin mesh and everything. So we'll also download an animation for it so that I can show you how to do facial animations while you're doing other animations. So let's find a good idle animation where maybe they're swaying a little bit, still looking at the camera. This one seems to be moving. Yeah, let's download that one. Don't need the skin because we already got it. And let's download it. Let's drag the character into Unity. Let's drag the T-pose character in. And then let's drag the one with the animation in. It's important to set both as humanoid to get the proper proportions and to be able to use blend shapes correctly. Humanoid. After you've set both models to humanoid, you can go into materials and extract the textures and materials. Let's make a new folder called textures. And then when that's done, do the same for materials. Let's fix this. Same for materials. So yeah, the camera should be, the model should be all right. Let's drag it in. Let's put the camera about here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's put the camera around here. In the game view, we can see our character. What's going on with their mouth? See something wrong with the. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. It sorted itself out. Just needed a second. So let's create an animator controller. Let's call that controller. Let's drag that into our character. Zoom in a little bit so you can see. Then we'll drag the idle animation in. Set that as default. Let's just click play to see if it works. Might not. You never know. She seems to be moving. Yeah, so our idle animation works. That's great. The next we need to do is let's focus our camera again. Is in the body of our model, there is this little tab here called blend shapes. If you open that up, you can see that there's tons of things you can play around with. Jaw down, we'll move the jaw down. Let's quickly go through a few of them. Lower lip down left, for example, we'll put the lower lip on the left down. Lower lip right, we'll put the one on the right down. You get the point. Just play around with the values and see what you can do. So I will create 3 animations. Let's see, animation. First one I'll call neutral. Second one I will call smile. And the third one I will call frown. So in here, I want to create a new animation layer called face layer. So let's see, if I drag in the neutral one, then I drag in smile, and then I drag in frown. Let's zoom out a little bit. Put them like this. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I haven't really done anything here. Let's see if that changed anything. It seems that our character is doing the same as before. All right, so let's go into our character and into the animation tab and change to the neutral animation. Here, what I like to do is to record me setting every single one of these values to 1 just to get it recorded into the animation that it has been changed. This I do personal reasons. I've had a lot of errors trying to use blend shapes, and I can show you one right after this. I'm just going to copy this, drag it over to, let's say, neutral state should last 2 seconds, and then we'll copy it in for the start as well. So here you can see that our character has gone into this weird pose, which is not our idle animation. Let's see what happens when I click play. Our character is acting normal. That's good. So let's see. If we go into smile, we can go into the body, we can record. It goes into the weird pose again. We'll find smile left, set it to 0. Actually, we'll set it to 100. Smile right, we'll set it to 100. Then we'll drag that to 2 seconds. And then we'll copy those, go into here, to the body, and just set it to 0. And there, if I look at the face, if you look at the mouth, you can see that it moves in this animation, right? It's good. Let's go into frown and let's record. Let's just set frown left and frown right to 100. Right, she gets a sad phase. Let's drag this to 2 seconds. Copy it. Go back here and set it to 0. Great. Let's save that. Go to animated controller. Let's make some transitions. Frown, smile, and back to neutral. Yeah, that seems cool. Let's click play and let's see what happens. So we see our character, but you see here that it goes through the animations, but it doesn't appear on the character. So what you can do to fix that is that the top layer will always override the other layers. So in here, you can set the weight to 1, and you can set it to additive. Override will mean that it overrides all the other animations, while additive means that you will add it on top of the other animations. The reason is because the default layer will always have its weight at 1, and it will always be on override. See if that fixed our issues. Nope. Yes. As you can see, she is now smiling and frowning as the time goes on. Let's see if we zoom a little bit closer. Nope. Yeah. Her mouth is moving, and she's also doing her idle animation. Alright, right now it's stopped just because I haven't looped it, which we can change if we go in here, edit, and set loop time. Go. So there, we've done some facial animations on top of our other animations. And then let's see if we can do it a different way. So what if I want to animate this programmatically with code? As I assume some of you might want to. So basically we'll have to create a script on the body, not the model itself. Some of you might have also noticed that there's blend shapes in the default as well, but they do nothing. So in the body, create a new script. I have created a script called blink. Let's open it up. So in the blink, what you want to do is to create a mesh. I'll call it this mesh. Let's create a skinned mesh renderer. I'll call it SMR just to save time. I'll do int for left eye and int for right eye. And then that's declaring those variables. Let's make a start method. In the start method, we want to set the skin mesh renderer to be this this game object's skin mesh renderer. So that will refer to the skin mesh render component here that we have on the body component because the script is here. So we want to fetch the mesh from that skin mesh renderer. So this mesh equals the SMR shared mesh. Then we want to set the left eye and the right eye to be the blend shape in that mesh that refers to the blinking left, for example. And let's say right eye. So this mesh get blend shape index blink right. So what this does is that we go into the mesh that is found in the skin mesh renderer, and we get the blend shape index, so the number so we will find the number of the blend shape within the list of blend shapes. So for example, blink left has the index of 0 because it's the first one. But instead of counting here, see, I wouldn't want to count down all the way down to mouth up, for example. So then I can find the index by using get blend shape index and just writing the name of it, for example, mouth down. So now I know it's 0 and 1, but to be more efficient, it's better to do it this way. So let's make two other methods. I'll call one start blinking, and I'll call the other stop blinking. So what I want to do is that I want my character to blink randomly as a human would do, to feel more natural. And I also want to do this on top of my other animation so that even if I've set the character to talk, he will blink while he talks naturally, programmatically, so that I don't have to put the frames in myself on every single animation. So what I will do is I will set the blend shape weight of left eye, so this is the index 0 to 100. So that essentially sets this value to 100. Then I want to set the blend shape weight of right eye to 100 as well. It means it's blinking. And then I want to invoke, which means to call a method. So I'll invoke this method, and so invoke calls a method after a delay. So we will set this delay to a random number between 0.5 and 4 seconds. So between every half a second to 4 seconds, he will start blinking. We also want to invoke the stop blinking in a random range of 0.1 to 0.5. It might be inaccurate. I don't know if anyone takes half a second to unblink, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not trying to be too realistic. And in here, I will set the blend shape weight of left eye and right eye to 0. And to get the whole thing going, I will invoke start blinking. Start blinking after 1 second, let's say that. So if I go in here, that should technically work, right? I can spoil it and say doesn't, because the other animations will override it. So what I will have to do to fix that, if my Unity would play. Yes, it doesn't work. He's not blinking. So what I would have to do is to go in here and remove the animation controller. See if it's working now. Yeah, so now you can see that he's blinking with a random range. That works fine. That doesn't work on top of my other animations, which is an issue, and that's what I wanted. So if I create another layer, I'll call it blinking layer. Let's set that also to additive. I'll put the weight to 1. Let's create an animation called start blink, and one to called stop blink. I'll put these in here, and I'll make a parameter called blink. It's a boolean. I'll make the transition over here and a transition over here. Set this to happen when blink is true, and this to happen when blink is false. So let's create, let's go in here, set the controller back, and then let's go into start blink. Let's go into the body, set it to be 100, 100, and then let's zoom in a little bit. Say about there. We'll set it to 0, 0. Just so it starts with the size closed, and then just use the size. To stop blink, let's put 100, 100. Let's copy it, drag it to 0.5, and then set this one so that it starts off the size open. Save that, and then we need to change our code a little bit. So if we go in here, we need to find a public animator. It's called anim. I will do, let's set this anim. So now I need to change around the layer weights a little bit. Let's change the layer weight of the first layer, so the basic, like default layer, to 0.5. I call it anim, not this anim. Let's set the layer weight of the second layer, so the face layer, to 0.6. Let's set it. So yeah, I'm at the second. Let's put the third one to 0.7f. So this is not needed in my case because as long as I have all of them at 1, it will still run. But I just want to show that programmatically you can technically change the layer weight of the default layer as well. And then let's remove this. And then just set this anim, set bool blink to true. And let's remove these as well. Anim set bool blink to false. And then with a few tweaks, let's see if that makes our character have the idle animation, facial animation, and the blinks. It's doing the idle animation and the facial animation, but not the blinks, because in the body, I forgot to set an animator. So if you drag the main model down to animator, it will connect the animator of the character into there, so we can actually find the boolean. Let's see if it works this time. There's our character doing the facial animations, idle animation, and blinking. Let's see, it's a bit unclear if her mouth is moving, so let's see. Oh my god. There you can see her mouth is moving. Let's make something more drastic in Smile just to prove a point. In Smile, let's go here and put the mouth up to 100. Wait, record. Put the mouth up 0, 100. And then here, let's say mouth up 0. Then which one switch? Yeah, anyways, here. Record this one, body, mouth up 0. And this mouth up 100. Cool. Just to see if I just want to show so it's very clear that all the animations are running. 3 different layers, blinking, facial animations, and idle animation at the same time. It's not the one I wanted. Let's do it again. Mouth open, set it to 1. And here, mouth open, set it to 100. Just so it's perfectly clear that it's all running. So now you get to see how it looks like. It looks quite ridiculous with the mouth fully open and a smile. There she is. What happened there? Is it because in the face layer neutral, is there a mouth open here? Mouth open is 100 here. No. Oh, so I did. That was a mistake. Let's see if it works now. I had set the default value to be 100, so that's why it didn't work. Yeah, so there you see that when she gets to the smiling face, she will open her mouth a little bit and then translate back to the neutral one. All right, I hope you learned something, and I hope you can use that to create your own facial animations and animations. Yeah, thanks.